Hey gang, welcome back to Swan's Japanese Horror Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at a pretty special movie that's based on 5 different short stories by the author otsu Ichi. And that would be the compilation film from 2005, Zoo. Now, compilation films are no stranger to the Japanese horror community, or for this review show for that matter. So, I think in the past you might have been more familiar with stuff such as Rampo Noir, or Three Extremes, or even various little compilation ones such as Dark Tales of Japan, The Legends, Mystery and Horror Tales, Tales of Terror from Tokyo, all sorts of them. So, how does Zoo stack up against all these other ones? Well, let's find out. As I mentioned previously, Zoo is from the author otsu Ichi. Now, he's not that famous in America yet, but some of his work has been translated over here. He primarily deals with short stories that are either in the horror genre or just plain weird or strange. Some of this has been translated here from Tokyo Pop in the novel Calling You, and there's further translations that are going to be available in the fall. So I was already familiar with the author, seeing as how I have a pretty keen interest in Japanese literature, so I was really excited to see how this compilation film would fare out. As with any film that's a compilation, there are going to be some shorts in here that appeal to some, and some shorts that probably fail to live up to their expectations. This is certainly true of Zoo. While overall I'll say right away that I found that the movie as a whole is enjoyable and well worth the money to purchase the DVD, there are some shorts I like better than others, obviously. Now, it starts off with a story called Kazari and Yoko, which is about these twin sisters, and the mother prefers one and totally abuses the other. This story has a few creepy moments, I guess, but by and large, for most horror fans, this probably won't appeal as much, I want to say, because it doesn't really play out as a horror story. This is more in line with otsu Ichi's writings about kind of these strange relationships and the interpersonal relationships between people. The second story on the disc is my absolute favorite, and this is one that I've shown a lot of different friends over the years. This is one that I've shown my younger brothers. It's called 7 Rooms. Now in this, a brother and sister are knocked out and abducted and placed in this very strange cell-like room. And it's really a mystery about what happened, how are they going to get out, what's going on, is this a race against the clock somehow? And I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm just going to say it has a chainsaw in it. So this appealed more to me. This appealed more to my horror sensibilities, and it's not like a gore fest or anything. In fact, I don't recall any blood at all, to be honest, but it certainly keeps a good tension. It's got a really nice, mysterious story to it. So for me, this was the shining star of the DVD. The next piece is actually an animated short. So here you go. Here's my anime review for the series. It involves an android girl and her scientist guy who helped create her, I suppose, and they're living all on their lonesome, and it's kind of just about their weird interpersonal relationships there. And it's a very beautiful, moving short piece. Couple good plot twists in there, so yeah, I really liked it. Again, this isn't like a straight, flat-out horror. Definitely not a slasher, definitely not ghost kind of stuff, but more of just this weird, kind of slow mood piece. The fourth story is called So Far, and this is the obligatory ghost story that has to be contained within the Japanese horror compilations. And in this one, it's about a young boy who's living with his mom and dad, and the mom says that the dad's dead, and the dad says that the mom's dead, and only the boy can see both of them. So it's got an interesting premise. Again, this is a real slower one. This is kind of like the first one in the compilation where, again, not really straight spooky horror, doesn't really keep you on the edge of your seat, but it's interesting, and for that reason, it's alright. Finally, we reach the title piece of the DVD. So the last story is called Zoo, and this one is very creepy and does a good job of closing things out. It's about this relationship between this man and woman, and there's a zoo involved, there are skeletons, decomposition. This one's kind of sick, a little bit twisted, and it's shot kind of grainy, so it kind of gives you this distant feel to it. So I really like this one, and I think it does a good job of closing out. Not as good as 7 Rooms. The Zoo DVD comes from Tokyo Shock, and there's a couple nice extras on there. You get some making of some of the different sketches. There's also some trailers involved in there. So yeah, definitely they did a serviceable job to it. Alright, so that's Zoo. And by and large, I thought this is a pretty nice compilation. Now, it's not as strong of a compilation to showcase an author's body of work in film format as, say, Rampo Noir, but it gets the job done and it's got some good moments in there. 7 Rooms is definitely worth the price alone. The animated short was really nice, and the title piece was great. So, 2 stories that I felt were, just okay, and the rest were pretty solid. So, definitely one I think you should pick up, as well as Rampo Noir, and yeah, we'll see you next time. So here's a compilation for you. Here's 5 dudes, 3 of which I think would be cool to hang out with, and 2 of which, like in this movie, that, not so much. So we've got Roger Smith from the Big O. We got Dende from Dragon Ball Z. Johnny Bravo from his old cartoon. James from Pokemon. And Dirty Harry. Now, I'll let you decide which 2 you wouldn't want to hang out with, but, I don't know, take a guess. By the way, I've been playing the heck out of Puzzle Bobble 3 on the Sega Saturn. This game is awesome. Of course, now it's bloody loading, so you can't see it. Oh, there it is. Kind of. Do you see it?